Hi and welcome. In this video, I'm going to talk about a couple questions that I've been receiving numerous of the same question from many of my own clients and from many of you online. And it has to do with amending your tax return so that way your dependent can receive their stimulus check. The other one has to do with, I was claimed as a dependent unknowingly. Is there any recourse for me to get my stimulus check? And the third one, I might have a stimulus hack that will help you receive your stimulus check even faster. Continue watching. My name is William with Taxaminer Tax Services, and I'm a certified registered tax preparer. I talk about more than just taxes. If you would like to continue receiving great information on ways to save money on taxes, smart money tips, creating a side hustle businesses, and or marketing your own business, make sure to click on the subscribe and alert button so that way you're notified when new information is available. Can we amend our income taxes in order to remove an adult dependent to allow them to receive their stimulus check? I've received that question from many of my clients and from many of you. Hopefully I can provide some insight on this question. However, first I would recommend talk to a tax professional in regards to your own specific taxes, or speak to the person that did your taxes. If you filed your income taxes online with TurboTax or something similar to that, talk to a local tax professional, take your taxes to them, and verify if it makes sense. The simple answer to this question that I've told many of my clients is no. But let me provide some insight and detail. As a tax professional, and many tax professionals, and not only tax professionals, but CPAs and so forth, they're held to certain guidelines and due diligence in order to allow someone to claim them as a dependent. Now, when we have a client and they're using a mom, a relative, a family member, or someone that they're claiming as a dependent, we have to go through certain guidelines, asking questions, and certain information that we gather in order to verify that they're an actual dependent. By doing this, we are held accountable by the IRS that we basically said, yes, this person is a dependent, so therefore we're allowing this client to use this person as a dependent. Now, why do people want dependents on their tax return? It's to get a credit back on their income taxes. For example, if I've been taking care of my mother or family member over the course of the year, there's been other additional expenses to take care of them. Well, the IRS allows me to claim them as a dependent in order to recoup some of that money back. But because of this reason, when we want to go in and amend our taxes for the sole purpose of removing the adult to receive the stimulus, it's breaking tax law. It's breaking the stimulus package, the code, the stuff, the way they've written it, in order to disallow adults 17 and older as dependents to receive the stimulus check. Now, on the flip side, if you were claimed as a dependent unknowingly by a family member, a friend, relative, or somebody, and then you find out, and that's the reason why you're not receiving a stimulus check, you're probably wondering, what's the recourse? Or you probably talk to them and say, hey, amend your tax return, take me off so that way I can receive my stimulus check. Now, in that scenario, if somebody unknowingly used you as a dependent and that tax preparer didn't do their due diligence, didn't verify that you are really not qualified as a dependent, that person that claimed you should amend their income taxes and remove you as a dependent so that way you can get your stimulus check. The other alternative to this, which I've recommended to many of my clients, is this. The stimulus check is an advancement on the 2020 income taxes. So in 2021, when you do your income taxes, everything's going to reconcile. The IRS is going to know whether or not you received your stimulus and the amount of money you received your stimulus. If you're owed extra money, for instance, there are a lot of people out there that only received their $1,200 stimulus but didn't receive $500 for their child dependents. In 2021, when you file your income taxes, it's going to get reconciled and the IRS will pay you or refund you the difference of what you owed. In this particular scenario, for adults that have been claimed in 2019, for 2020, don't claim those dependents this year in 2020. Have those dependents in 2021 file their own income taxes, and then they will receive their stimulus payment at that time. I know they have to wait a half a year to get their stimulus, but it's better than not receiving it at all. For those of you who were claimed as a dependent unknowingly and you feel 100% without a doubt that they did not legally or should not have claimed you, and if you're one of those, then there's a couple options you can do. If you go back to that person that claimed you as a dependent, ask them to amend their taxes. If they're not willing to amend their taxes, then there's a couple different options. You could file your own income taxes now, submit them as paper returns to the IRS. The IRS will receive those and know that there's a conflict of interest. There's you claiming yourself as a non-dependent. There's the person that claimed you as a dependent. The IRS is going to contact both of you to find out more information to see who really is a dependent and not a dependent. That will take some time, but that is an alternative. There's also a special form that you can file with the IRS to file a complaint with them. I will put a link to that in the description. It's an IRS form 3949-A. You fill that out. You're basically telling the IRS there's some fraud going on and you're reporting it. Once again, you have two options. The first one, I recommend filing your own income taxes, submitting that to the IRS. Then that way the IRS will receive it, verify it between both of you, and then they'll do the ruling to find out whether you're an actual qualified dependent or not a qualified dependent. And then you can file the 3949-A and report them to the IRS and let them know that you have a complaint. The other alternative to that in itself, which I've recommended to many of my clients, you can also file your 2020 income taxes in 2021 to reconcile the stimulus payment to receive your stimulus check. Make the other party aware that claimed you as a dependent that in 2021 you will be filing your own income taxes, and if they use you as a dependent, they're going to have some tax issues with the IRS. There are a few other issues when it comes to amending taxes. When you amend your taxes, usually there's a fee that you are charged for amending your taxes. Also, the IRS isn't processing any income taxes right now. They're shut down. There's a huge backlog. So if you were to amend your taxes now, it's going to take months for it to get processed. And then before the dependent can even file their income taxes to receive the stimulus check, they have to wait until that gets processed, which ultimately will take 4 to 5, 6 months for this whole process to take place. Now, do you want to know about a stimulus hack that might help you receive your stimulus check faster? Continue watching. What am I talking about when it comes to the stimulus check hack, and how can you get your payments faster? I've been working with many of my clients and also doing a lot of research online, looking at data, seeing the analytics, who is receiving their payments and who hasn't received their payments. And most of the people that has already received their stimulus check payments are people who filed their 2019 income taxes, e-filed it, and the IRS has their direct deposit information. That's the first wave of people that received that money. The reason why is because the IRS already had the data. They were easy identifiable to send out those payments. Everyone else towards the end of March who hasn't filed or filed their income taxes later, or people that filed income taxes without direct deposit information, or people that never filed income taxes, those are the ones that are delayed because the IRS has to go through a tremendous amount of process to figure out who are these people and how do we get money to these people. And that's why you're hearing in the news, dead people are receiving stimulus payments, people that don't live in the country are receiving stimulus payments, because the IRS is trying to shuffle through hundreds of millions of people to find out who deserves the stimulus checks. Now, prior to the stimulus check being announced that was going to be sent out, we could only do income taxes for people that had earned income. We didn't normally do income taxes for people that were on Social Security or had no earned income. So back on March 30th, the IRS released some information on their website that had to do with taxpayers who typically do not file income taxes, that they had to file a simple tax return. Well, tax preparers weren't prepared, and their software wasn't prepared to file simple tax returns because they didn't have any earned income. The IRS probably realized that that was going to cause a problem. Tax software companies released updated tax software so that way allows tax professionals to be able to file income taxes for people that do not normally file income taxes or have no earned income, to be able to help them to be able to file their income taxes. Move forward to April 10th, the IRS released an announcement letting everyone know that they developed a tool that allows non-filers, people who do not normally file income taxes to go on their website and file their income taxes on the non-filer tool. You're updating the IRS with all your information so that way the IRS can identify you and your dependents' information so that way they can send you the stimulus check. Now this tool that was created, and I don't know if you're aware of this, but I'm going to read this little portion right here. The non-filer tool, developed in partnership between the IRS and the Free Alliance, provides a free and easy option designed for people who don't have a return filing obligation, including those with too little income. This tool is based on a free file fillable form, which is software that Intuit developed and donated to the IRS. So that is what the non-filer tool is. Now, for many of my clients who would normally use the non-filer tool on the IRS website, I went ahead and personally did their taxes for them using my simplified version through my professional tax software. For those clients of mine that have direct deposit with like Social Security, SSI, veterans, something like that, what I've done when I file their income taxes, I put their bank account for the direct deposit. I did not use their information that they use to receive their Social Security direct deposit. Now, for some of my customers that did not have a checking account or bank account where direct deposit can go in, I had them open one up or use companies like PayPal, Chime, Square, where they can get a virtual bank, get a routing number and a checking account so that way they can use that as a direct deposit and file their income taxes with that. Now, for many of my clients, that has worked for them. They're not waiting for the IRS to gather all the information from the VA, from the SSI, from Social Security in order to process their stimulus payment. There's one catch to this. In order for this to work, you have to go to Get My Payment portal, put in your information. If you have a pending payment date on the Get My Portal website, this hack will not work for you. As I mentioned, this will only work for people that do not have a pending payment date, or there's an error, or there's some type of conflict where there's no information. I hope this information was helpful for you. Make sure to hit the like button so that way this video gets shared with other people. And remember, if you'd like to be alerted when new information is available, hit the subscribe and alert button. Thank you for your time.